ran for governor in 2022 but lost in the primary, and now he is running to represent Maryland's 6th district in Congress. That candidate, Ashwani Jain. Ashwani, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I want to start with this. President Biden seems to be struggling with progressive Democrats right now. When you look at some of the polls, when he goes head-to-head with the former President Trump, he is behind. Why do you think those numbers are dropping?
I mean, listen, we're a year out until the primary. This time in President Obama's second term, he was polling behind. This has traditionally been a case, and I think once people realize the enormous success of this president in terms of lowering inflation, lowering unemployment, doing more for infrastructure, doing more for preventing gun violence in the future, once they actually see all the great successes he has had, I think they're definitely going to turn around, especially when they see him against the former President Trump.
The president just celebrated a birthday. A lot of criticism has been around his age. There's nothing that can change that. If you were part of the Biden campaign and part of the Biden administration, what would you do to fix that issue?
I think, again, just touting the success and the record. And at the end of the day, there's going to be two main candidates who are either going to be elected the next president. It's going to be President Joe Biden or former President Donald Trump. And I think when those choices are there, people are going to end up making the right decision, which is to continue supporting Joe Biden because of not only the track record that he has, but also looking at how much more damage the country would be in if the alternative gets in office.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the Democratic Party focus on. I see behind you, Jane for Congress. You have often been associated with the Forward Party. In fact, they just announced your candidacy. Tell me what your affiliation is about. Why are you affiliating with them? And what is your take on no labels?
Yeah, so I am a proud Democrat. I will say that, and I'm running as a Democratic in the Democratic primary. But we do have endorsements from various leaders within the Democratic Party and those who represent Democrats, independents, and Republicans. And with the Forward Party, they are an organization that builds coalitions, one of our many supporters, and also do a lot around election reform, so independent redistricting and ranked choice voting. And on those issues, we aligned completely in sync. And I think the more voices we have in the conversation that goes beyond just Democrat, Republican, Independent, that's how we start to make progress. And when we focus on issues, which is what my campaign is all about, I think that's how we can get people involved in politics in a way they have not been involved in the past and get people excited about what's to come in the future.
So what do you say to those that really criticize this, saying this is only going to be a spoiler that will ultimately help Trump?
So generally, when it comes to third-party candidates, they do tend to bring in new, fresh ideas. But at the end of the day, when you're looking at, Democrats, Republicans, or independents, you have to really look at the candidates that we're putting up. What is their record? What is their experience? What are they actually proposing to tangibly benefit their residents, their constituents? And are they actually doing enough to get money out of politics? Are they doing enough to actually focus on those kitchen table issues that so many of us are struggling with and facing?
So you are running for Maryland's congressional 6th district seat. I want to ask you, of course, what you plan to get done as an elected member, but also so many members of Congress right now are retiring, saying this is a terrible job. They can't get anything done. Why do you want the job?
Well, I've never been one to back down from a challenge or back down from a fight. That goes back to when I was 13 years old and diagnosed with cancer. I fought that and was able to, overcome a lot of struggles and challenges. And understanding that my story is not unique. There are so many people, especially in the 6th congressional district, who are facing so many issues. And that's where my campaign is proposing to actually get money out of politics and empower them, not big corporate donors, making sure we actually pass Medicare for all. We actually make free public college and cancel student debt. And one of our primary proposals as well is pushing for a $26 minimum wage, which is going to help a lot of the small businesses, help our economy, and help residents themselves. So again, a policy-focused campaign. We're in every part of the district. and we have a growing number of supporters that we're really excited about.
I want to talk about that minimum wage, $26. Wow. When you hear that number, a lot of people get excited. A lot of people are terrified. Do you think that's realistic? Who do you think is going to support that?
Yeah, so coming from a small business background myself, I understand the value that they bring and the challenges that they face. And I understand there's a false notion that what's good for business must be bad for the employee and vice versa. The reality is each can benefit. And so that's why our proposal, fully detailed at janeforcongress.com, says that by 2030, not overnight, we should increase the minimum wage to $26 an hour. Because right now, the federal minimum wage has been stuck at $7.25 an hour, which is barely enough to live by. And so by doing this, we're going to help businesses find, hire, and retain the millions of workers that have left their jobs in recent years saying they need better pay. It's going to help our economy by lowering poverty and crime, increasing consumer spending, and expanding our tax base. And it's going to help residents, workers, by bringing their salaries up to the national average salary. And that's how we start to, again, move beyond just the talking points and rhetoric of supporting businesses and supporting employees.
All right, I have about 30 seconds left here. Politics is so divisive right now. Some people are saying, I'm not voting for Trump or Biden if it comes down to the two. Why is it that your candidacy and this independent movement so important right now? What will you be focusing on that can maybe pull people to your campaign?
If I have the honor of being elected, I would be Maryland's first millennial and first Asian ever elected. But because I have specific policy solutions running in the Democratic primary, but having the support of independents and Republicans, people in the third party, people in the other side of the aisle, I think that's how we start to build consensus and build a new type of politics, the ones that we always hope and wish candidates would actually pursue. We're seeing that on this campaign and with the people that we're speaking with. And that's why I'm so excited to run in this race, to run in this primary. And I hope to be a partner to President Biden if I have the honor of serving in Congress in the next session.
Well, I know Marylanders want to get jobs done. So we will see. You have a big job ahead of you. Ashwani Jain, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.